Public speaking is a tough nut to crack for many people, especially when you're delivering a lot of value over a long period of time. How do you keep your audience engaged from start to finish? Let's talk about how to engage an audience in public speaking. I'm sharing this with you as someone who has spoken on stages in front of over 5,000 people. So today I want to relay a quote that changed my entire perspective on business and public speaking. So we're going to unpack the one quote to remember if you want to influence people in just a moment. And I might be giving away all my secrets here today because we're also going to dive into the 3 objections you have to overcome in order to keep your audience engaged. And get ready because we're also talking about the 4 things to include in every single speech to leave your audience hanging by your every word. Just know that you owe me a cut of whatever you make for your next presentation, okay? Just kidding. Let's jump in. Here's the one quote to remember if you want to influence people. Blair Warren has this quote where he says, "People will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies." We try to incorporate all 5 into our webinars, our presentations, etc. to lower our audience's objections, keep them engaged, and encourage them to buy. Think about this. When you have someone speaking to you that's installing that belief in you, encouraging your dreams, showing you that you can do it, just think of that feeling that it gives you, that belief in yourself, the hope. That is the best feeling that you can have anyone walk away from your presentation with. And if you can also help them to justify their failures and show them, hey, it's not your fault this hasn't worked out for you in the past. You just haven't known this. You didn't know this system. You didn't have this knowledge, but here you are today learning it now. This also elevates that feeling of hope and belief for them. In your presentation, if you can allay their fears, that's going to give that audience member the motivation, the momentum to go after it and know that even if they did have fears, that with your help, with your motivation, with your system, your knowledge that you're sharing with them, that they can accomplish and achieve this. One of my favorite things to do in helping to confirm suspicions, because of course people are going to be skeptical. I've tried this before, it hasn't worked. How do I know this will work for me? Is by showing social proof. Here are people just like you that were facing the same obstacle and they did it and you can too. And lastly, in throwing rocks at the enemies, it's giving that us versus them. We are victorious because we know this, because we have this motivation, because we are different from them. One of the ways that I like to throw rocks at the enemies is not necessarily throwing rocks at a competitor, because we're not trying to be rude or aggressive, although if you want to be polarizing, that can work for you. But you can also throw rocks at an object or a feeling. Like I throw rocks at the feeling of obscurity for entrepreneurs that want their voice to be heard, that they want to spread their message, and our enemy is obscurity, and we don't want to go there. We don't want to feel that feeling ever again. So what I do is help encourage their dreams, allay their fears, justify their failures, and confirm suspicions while throwing rocks at we are not going to fall into that trap of obscurity ever again. Knowing this, I want to hear from you. What's a common fear that your audience has? And what would you say to them? Or what's a story you could tell? Or what's some social proof that you could share to help them overcome it? Let me know in the comments below. In order to keep your audience engaged, there are 3 objections that you have to help your audience to overcome. And these objections are roadblocks for them. These are the stories that they're telling themselves. They're the false beliefs. The first one is a vehicle false belief. So they're thinking about the thing that you're presenting, the vehicle towards the outcome. Can the vehicle being presented really help me? In my case, maybe if I'm selling a course about how to make a great YouTube video, the audience could be wondering if video is right for them. And if they don't believe it and they check out, they won't listen to the rest of the presentation because they think, video doesn't work for me. I'm not going to use this. This isn't going to benefit my life or my business. So we have to be able to tell them the stories that are better than their stories, their false belief, to give them belief in the vehicle. The second objection is an internal objection. This has something to do with themselves. Their internal, typically an insecurity. So they might be thinking, do I have the right voice for this? I don't think I can do this. I might fail. So what's a story that you can tell them? Maybe this is where some social proof comes in to show people that were just like you, or I'm just like you, and here's how I overcame it. Here's my before and after picture. This can help instill that belief in them. And the third objection is external. These are things that are outside of themselves. Typically things like, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I don't have the support around me. And that's where you can tell stories or offer something that is going to give them that support of time or money or resources. Now, not saying that you can offer them money, but typically if you're offering them something that is free or has a payment plan or can help them to earn money money quickly, that can help them overcome that external objection. Now, I want to share with you the 4 things that you need to include in every single speech, really any presentation, whether it's a webinar or even a social media post, that's going to leave your audience hanging by your every word. But before I do, have you subscribed to this channel yet? If you want to bring your business closer to infinite cash flow with evergreen content and incredible offers, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button to be notified every time I upload. The 4 things you need to include in every speech, every presentation that's going to leave your audience hanging by your every word. It's a proprietary story selling system that I created called ELSA. Yes, you might think of the Snow Queen from Frozen, but for these purposes, do not let it go. ELSA is an acronym that stands for Epiphany, Lesson, Story, Application. Now, before I create any piece of content or presentation or webinar, I'm thinking, what is the big picture epiphany that I want my audience to walk away with? If I can just have them have one breakthrough moment or one big aha, what is that thing? What's that main idea of that piece of content? And if you can have that epiphany, that outcome, you can reverse engineer the outcome so that the rest of your content is always leading to that epiphany. The L in ELSA stands for lesson. This is teaching them something that offers value. Typically, if you can break this down into a framework, something that's easily digestible and understandable for your audience, this can lead them to that big epiphany, to that big breakthrough. However, the S in ELSA stands for story, because the best educators, the best marketers are the ones that spend more time on the story. Think about your favorite teachers in school. Which are the ones that you remember the most? Were they the boring ones that, like the Charlie Brown teacher at the front of the classroom, like wah, 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 wah? Or were they the ones that told the best stories? The ones that you felt like really cared about you? The ones that you felt belief in yourself because of how they communicated with you? So when you can share a powerful story that tugs at their emotion, whether it's humor or tugs at their heartstring, this humanizes you and helps you relate to your audience, builds that know, like, trust factor, and makes you memorable. And the A in ELSA is for application. What's the next step? What's the actionable step for your audience to take? This could be a call to action for what to do next, whether it's to go to another video, click the link and sign up for this thing, hand over their credit card, become a paying client of yours. How can they apply what they've just learned from your presentation? If you're ready to take your content marketing to the next level with a 1-day-a-month strategy that drives leads for life, then click the link below to reserve your spot in my next free training. This is the exact strategy that my 6, 7, and 8-figure clients use to maximize their cash flow through online content, and you could be next.